Well, this is my last hospital visit, and I'm grateful because I don't want to talk about it anymore. So I'm minding my own business, and, Paula's here, my husband, my daughter, and I just done some things outside, kind of, sort of, in a way, because I'm still learning how to walk. This is just when this happened to me. And all of a sudden, I went to talk, and my language, they call it salad speech. I sounded like I was from a different planet. And it was really strange because I knew exactly what I was wanting to say. My mind was fine, but I was trapped. My mouth couldn't speak what I was thinking. And it was really frustrating to me. In the beginning, it was really scary because I couldn't figure out what was going on. But eventually, we all figured it out. Well, I couldn't speak, so I couldn't say anything. And my daughter came upstairs and, she said we need to take her to the hospital. Well, in the beginning, my friend and my husband, they didn't really realize what was going on. But then once they realized what was going on, it was going to the hospital. So we all walked me out, and I'm just thinking, what is going on? I don't understand this. And as I'm walking out the door, there was a neighbor that lives right next door to us who has been so kind and loving. He's brought me plants, and he's always checking up on me. He's just adorable. And he was walking out and said, "Oh, no, what's going on?" And I was crying at that time because I did not want to go back. I call it the slammer. Sorry, I know the hospitals are really great places and they've been good to me, but I didn't want to go to the slammer. I've had enough. And I'm thinking, what's going on? Because this by far, it sounds crazy, but out of all my experiences, this was the worst one because I could not communicate and I was trapped. My brain was completely fine. But no one could understand me. I couldn't communicate. It's a horrible feeling. Let me tell you, I'm very empathetic to people that can't speak. It's very, very, very difficult. Please have compassion for these people. It's horrible. Lesson I learned, what it feels like, right? What does it feel like? There are people that have it worse than we do. And let me tell you something, that's one you don't want. Of course, you have to accept it and learn to communicate in a different way and make that okay, right? But it's not easy. So my friend was walking Paula with me, and she just said to the gentleman, my neighbor, we're going to the hospital again. And he was lovely, but I just had to keep going because I was just so upset. And she was helping me walk because I couldn't really walk because of my balance. And then my daughter's out, and my daughter decides that, my daughter's going to take me in her car, and my husband and friend are going to meet me at the hospital. Here's what's interesting. So I'm minding my own business, sitting in the car, and I'm trying to speak to my daughter, and she's driving really fast to try to get me to the hospital. None of us know what's going on, but we know there's something very, very wrong. And of course, she'd already called my father, so he's already in the car coming to meet me. And we go in the car, and I'm trying to talk to her because I want to let her know that it's okay. But no matter what I say, I can't. And I'm really getting frustrated and irritated. I'm not afraid at this point. I'm just like, this is enough. And all of a sudden, I remember sitting in the car going like this, whatever, because I just gave up. There was nothing that was working. So I just gave up. And my daughter touched me and said, "Mommy, it's okay. I understand." And at that very moment, another lesson I was learning was, for me, how powerful my relationship is with my daughter. And doctors have said this to us. We're very, very close. We have a very special bond. And I sat there and just thought, I am so lucky because my daughter really is connecting with me at a level that I never thought existed because I can't talk. But she still understands what I want to say. She understands what I'm saying. And she just kept saying, "Mommy, it's okay. Don't worry, Mommy, it's okay." And she said other things, but I don't remember. But I will never forget her angelic little voice just touching me, saying, "Mommy, it's okay." And it was a feeling. It was a feeling more than anything. And it was like when you hit a baseball or if any of you play sports or tennis or something, and the ball just goes like this and it's perfect, it was like that. And all of a sudden, I just sat there. Nothing I could say. I wasn't going to try again. And I just accepted it. And I just sat there and kind of closed my eyes and watched my breath and just sat there. There was nothing else I could do. I wasn't afraid. I wasn't in any pain. I was nauseous and sick because I'm always like that when this whole thing started for years. But didn't do anything. So we get to the hospital and they race me in. And by then my husband and Paula's there, the friend I've known for 40 years. And all of a sudden, I'm sitting in this room where the doctors look at you and do all these things. And I start shaking. I'm like shaking. And I could feel myself shaking. And my husband is sitting across from me. And he says, Rochelle, watch your breath. Just watch your breath. And because I've already, I've studied and I meditate and I practice these things, it instantly clicked. Watch your breath. And he was right in front of me. So I could only see his little face and watch your breath. And he was really holding space for me. That's what he was doing. I know he was also really afraid. And my little daughter kept coming in and out because she was worried about me. And later I found out she was upset because she was asked to leave the room and she wanted to stay with me. And I understand that, but I'm kind of glad she was asked to leave the room because later I started seizing, like doing these things. And I guess they gave me medicine and put me out. I don't remember. But I wouldn't have wanted her to see that. And I don't think she did from what I remember, from what I know, which is good. My husband did, but I don't know anything about it. I only know because my husband told me. But this is what's so interesting. So when my husband said to watch your breath, breathing in and breathing out, it clicked and I started doing it. And what I know from the work that I've done for quite a long time is that you can only have one thought at a time. You can't have two thoughts at one time. So when you're breathing in and out, you're just concentrating on your breath. That is all you are doing. So if you are in a difficult situation, whether, you're split up from a relationship, you're having a panic attack, preferably before you have the panic attack, start breathing. Whatever upsets your peace, whatever disturbs your peace, whatever it is, stop, take a deep breath, and watch your breath. Breathe at your own pace and just concentrate on your breath. You can say, I'm breathing in, I'm breathing out. I'm breathing in, I'm breathing out. And that's all you're going to do because you can, again, not have two thoughts at one time. This is also going to slow down the tornado that contains all of these catastrophic thoughts that are running around wild in your head. And you're going to start feeling better. And that's exactly what I did. Now, I guess when I had this grandma, whatever it's called, seizure, they must have given me something because I was knocked out cold. And then I end up and I'm in this other room because they're doing a spinal tap. And all I remember from that is that it wasn't that bad, but I remember the pain was off to my left. And I kept saying to Michael, is it over? Is it over? And I know my dad came in to see me. I'm sure he didn't like leaving the room. Not my dad, but he did because Michael was sitting with me, my husband. And that's all I remember. And then I'm in the hospital for another damn week, which I'm sick of. And while I was in the hospital, there was this older man in this other room because I was in ICU again or wherever, not ICU, yeah, in critical care, whatever. And he kept talking and he was really out of it. And he kept saying this one thing over and over and over again. Oh, my light's going out. I apologize. Well, I'm just going to leave it off for now. And I had to really sit with myself and say, Rochelle, it doesn't matter how many times this person is going to say this to you over and over and over and over again. It is what it is. Let it go. So your takeaway from this is sometimes, unless things happen to you, you can't experience things that you don't even realize exist in your life. Like I knew Juliet and I were very close, but I didn't know it. That's my daughter. I didn't know it to this level. I didn't understand that. And I am so grateful, believe it or not, I am so grateful for that experience. because that's something I will never forget. The other thing is learning to watch your breath. If I can do it in a critical situation, then so can you. And by the way, I did this when I first came out of surgery, and I was so sick to my stomach, my head hurt, it was awful. And all I could do was watch my breath. There was nothing else I could do. Watch your breath. It doesn't matter what situation you're in, do it. It will help you. This is a practice. The only way to learn how to do it is to practice it. Do it 3 times a day, morning, noon, and night. Do it 5 minutes each time. It'll help you with anxiety, stress, and it will build your practice so when you really need it, you can do it. It'll just automatically happen. And if it doesn't automatically happen and you're lucky to be with someone that understands this stuff, they'll remind you. And the last thing is that life presents us with difficult situations. And it's okay, because it's all an opportunity to learn and to grow. And without these difficult situations, we wouldn't learn things that we apparently thought we knew. Life presents itself so that you can learn, and hopefully you're in tune enough to do so. I'll see you in the next video.